From WSLS, this is 10 News at 5, working for you.
Now at 5, the Lexington restaurant at the center of political debate all across America is once again open for business. This is a live look from outside the Red Hen almost 2 weeks after the owner asked the White House press secretary to leave. What the owner is expecting now that the doors are back open.
But first, a parent's worst nightmare, a missing 2-year-old from Texas found dead at Smith Mountain Lake.
I've got 4 grandsons. Can't imagine what they're going through.
From what law enforcement is saying to community reaction, we're bringing you live team coverage from Bedford County with the very latest on this tragedy.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm John Carl.
And I'm Brittany McGraw. Lindsay has the night off. Heartbreaking news from the Bedford County Sheriff's Office. Divers found the body of 2-year-old August Farley just before 1 this afternoon. The
toddler had been missing for almost 7 hours. 10 News reporter Magdala Lusant begins our team coverage tonight. She joins us live from the Huddleston area after speaking to the family and first responders. Magdala.
Well, John, it's been an emotional day for everyone here at Smith Mountain Lake. About 150 people were searching for August Farley. People left here with their heads down, tears in their eyes. And to be honest with you, I shed a few tears myself because people were so invested in finding this little boy, and we're all just sad that this wasn't a better outcome. August Farley, nicknamed Danger Baby by his family, was an adventurous 2-year-old.
He's always, climbing trees and climbing on top of our garage at our house, and all kinds of stuff.
August's father, Austin Farley, his wife, and 3 other children came to Huddleston for their annual family reunion. As they were getting ready to head home to Texas this morning, they couldn't find little August.
6 o'clock was the last time he was seen. No one really, that was by my sister-in-law. She thought he came to get in bed with us. By the time that we woke, 7:38, she hadn't seen him since 6.
About 150 people, including various law enforcement agencies, searched for the boy by air, ground, and water.
We were prepared to go round the clock until we found this young man.
Around 12:55 this afternoon, the search ended. Divers found August's body at the end of the dock in the lake.
A lot of police officers down there with tears in their eyes.
What was an annual family tradition for the Farleys, now a tragic trip they'll never forget. But through their faith in God, August's parents know their youngest will always be in good hands.
So even in this moment, we trust in him, and we know that...
we know how much he loves August.
Yeah.
How much August loves him. And that's all we really need to know.
So we're just trusting in God. We know that he's going to be okay. He's going to come home safe, and even if he doesn't, God's got us in his hands.
Investigators believe the cause of death was drowning, but his body has been sent to the medical examiner's office for an official autopsy. Live in Huddleston, Magdala Lusant, 10 News, working for you.
10 News reporter Allison Wickline continues our live coverage tonight. Allison, I understand there was an outpouring of support from people who live in that area.
Well, absolutely. During the search, this area behind me was filled with law enforcement agencies as well as neighbors who showed up to help. About 150 people actually turned out today to help search for little August. During his emotional press conference this afternoon, Major Gardner with the Bedford County Sheriff's Office thanked the community for their support. As we were walking around today, there were people on golf carts, bikes, and even on foot looking through the woods and these backyards for the boy. And for many of these people, it's a situation they never imagined themselves in.
No, I can't say after the 4th of July that it's something I would imagine that I would be doing, but the neighbors need help. You jump to it.
And it wasn't just locals out here helping. Officers say there were people driving from Campbell County, Franklin County, and other neighboring counties to help. Now, coming up tonight at 6, hear from a neighbor about what this search effort was like and also how people here are trying to cope. Live in Huddleston, Allison Wickline, 10 News, working for you.
Such a sad story. We hate to have to bring it to you, but we will have another update on this story tonight on 10 News at 6. And of course, for complete coverage, you can download the 10 News app. We've got more information there and also on our website at WSLS.com.
The Red Hen is opening its doors for the first time since asking White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders to leave. That incident has since sparked several protests against the restaurant by President Donald Trump supporters. 10 News reporter Shane Dwyer joins us live from downtown Lexington with more on the controversy. And Shane, what are you seeing this afternoon?
Brittany, well, the Red Hen is set to open here in just a few minutes. Again, as you said, for the first time in about 2 weeks since turning away Sarah Huckabee Sanders and asking her and her family to leave here. There is a crowd that has gathered here. The Red Hen just put some signs up in the door that say reservations full tonight and the restaurant is full. But there's some folks out here who do not agree with that, and they've shown up to say that they are still not happy. This is the Patriot Picket. They're armed and call themselves defenders of liberty and the Second Amendment. A couple of these men drove down from Maryland. A couple other ones were some Southwest Virginia. There were a few people here from Lexington, all in all about 10 or 12 of them total. Again, they are not happy that Sarah Huckabee Sanders was asked to leave this restaurant. There's signs that they're holding comparing it to the civil rights movement when African Americans were denied service. They said they wanted to be here on opening day to send a message, but there have already been people coming up to disagree with them.
Just to show them that people don't forget, that you can't just hide under the blankets for a couple weeks and then make sure everything's, seem to think that everything's okay.
So I think the false equivalencies are very upsetting. And to be able to use Martin Luther King and the Woolworth lunch counter things to say it's the same thing, it's not the same thing.
The Red Hen has remained quiet on this issue. The owner has only spoken with the Washington Post on the record and not with any of the local media outlets. An employee outside the restaurant told me today they have said everything they want to say. The Patriot Picket says there is a way for this type of political discourse to be handled. I am working on that part of the story coming up for just in about an hour right here at 6 on WSLS 10. Live in Lexington, Shane Dwyer, 10 News, working for you.
New at 5 tonight, the Ohio man accused of driving a car into a crowd of people in Charlottesville last summer is pleading not guilty to dozens of federal charges. James Fields Jr. appeared in a federal courtroom just hours ago. The 21-year-old is facing hate crime charges in connection with the death of Heather Heyer. Prosecutors say he drove into a crowd of people who were demonstrating against the Unite the Right rally, which featured hundreds of white nationalists.
There is still no arrests in connection with a deadly shooting this morning in Danville. Police say Alan Wright was gunned down behind an apartment complex on Clement Avenue. Someone who lived in the area found the body and called 911. Officers say the 55-year-old wasn't a resident at that complex. This comes less than 2 weeks after police went to a community block party there, which gave people a chance to discuss issues in the neighborhood.
It's an anomaly. That's a good neighborhood. You've got people who are long-term residents that live there, care very much about their neighborhood and their community. We're always grateful for any cooperation we receive. We are looking for more assistance.
This is the city's 4th homicide this year.
And police need your help finding a man wanted for a shooting in Lynchburg. 31-year-old Darian Reynolds is facing several charges, including shooting within city limits and use of a firearm during a felony. Officers think he shot a man multiple times in the chest on Early Street about 1 o'clock this morning. The man was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. If you have any information, please call police.
An investigation is underway after a deadly fire in Danville. Firefighters say they found lots of smoke coming from this home on 1st Street early this morning. First responders had to battle the flames from both inside and outside of the property. They later found a body in a bedroom.
First engine company knocked down some fire on the outside, went in and did a search. A lot of fire inside the house. There has been some family contacted of the person that lives here, but we do not have a 100% positive ID yet.
Police are investigating. The body has been sent to the medical examiner's office in Roanoke for identification.
4th of July week leads to more lost pets than any other time of the year. Shelters in our area are already close to capacity. 10 News reporter Rachel Lucas is live tonight at the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection. And Rachel, there have been a lot of lost animals because of the fireworks in our area.
That's right. This is one of the busiest weeks of the year for local animal shelters. That's certainly how it's been here at the RCACP, as they have been flooded with phone calls from pet owners looking for their lost cats and dogs. And while missing posters like these are good exposure, you've probably already seen them in your neighborhoods, the first place that you should check if your animal goes missing is your local animal shelter. Fireworks are great holiday fun for families, but it's quite the opposite for animals. With a wall full of missing posters, July 4th weekend is what animal rescue experts like Mike Warner with the RCACP call a perfect storm for missing pets. Statistics show that more dogs are lost over the 4th of July holiday than any other time of the year.
If they're outside, they're wanting to run and they're scared, so they're jumping out of their kennels in their fenced-in areas.
Many have taken to social media, like Monique Montree of Roanoke, whose 4-month-old puppy went missing last night. Luckily, she told us he was found and returned to her today. But if your pet is lost, Warner says your local shelter should be the first place to look. They've received 17 lost dogs already this week. So far, they've been able to reunite 11 of them back with their owners.
We're having a good ratio of how many lost, how many are picked up. But we expect that to go on through the weekend.
And while staff have been busy taking calls and sheltering misplaced pups, the reward of reuniting pets with their owners is well worth it.
I walked a lady through and she started crying because we did have her dog here and she had been missing it for a day and a half, and it was here, and she said, you know, I just can't thank you enough for reuniting us.
And it's good to see those dogs being reunited with their pet owners. And because the 4th of July did fall in the middle of the week, we can probably expect to see more fireworks in our neighborhoods throughout the rest of the week and this weekend. So they say it is a good idea to go ahead and keep your pets indoors overnight so they won't be scared by those fireworks. Live in Roanoke, I'm Rachel Lucas, 10 News, working for you.
And here's a live look at Roanoke County from our Poor Mountain Sky Cam as the heat wave is coming to an end.
We'll let you know when you can expect showers and storms to move into the area coming up after the break.